Thank you so much for joining me on Beyond the Barriers
Yeah.
Conversations. You're my first guest, and I am super glad to have you on this. Beyond the Barriers Conversation is conversations that I want to have with young people who have been able to surmount the stumbling blocks in their lives to make something of themselves, especially young Africans
That's good.
who have made something of themselves despite the challenges they had to surmount. That's what informed the name, actually, despite the barriers in front of them. With this first season, it's focusing on international students solely. Thank you again
Mhm.
for being my first guest, Adedayo Alaga. And let me start by asking you to tell me about yourself. Who is Adedayo Alaga? Where are you from? And what did your life look like before you embarked on this journey?
Okay. Thank you so much for having me here, Surya. Really, it's nothing, but it's one of those things that no matter how busy we have to learn as much as possible to accommodate other things, to pass things that challenges we went through, so that others can learn one or two things from there. So, as an individual, I would say I am, like you mentioned, I am Adedayo Abdurrahman Alaga. I'm from Nigeria, Lagos. I grew up in Lagos, but my hometown is in Ogun State. Ogun State is actually located at the southern western part of Nigeria. I grew up in Lagos, like I told you, and yeah, so far so good. I over time I would say that I didn't really stumble on the degree per se. I would say that my path was built or established as a result of my childhood growth.
Mm.
So, based on that, I was able to narrow down what I actually want to do, not just learning or, ability to impart knowledge and then share good insights about my growth to people.
Hmm. So, back in Nigeria, you said you were born in Lagos.
Yes,
You grew up there.
yes, I grew up
You
in
started
Lagos.
life there before you
Yes,
came here. What were
yeah.
you doing?
In Lagos as a child, or
No, as an
okay,
adult.
okay,
What
no,
were you
no.
doing? Like, what were you doing before you woke up one day and said, "Ah, I want to go abroad and study"?
Okay,
What were you doing?
okay. So, before coming here, I
Mhm.
came to the US 2.5 years ago.
Mhm.
I was a principal engineer at the University of Lagos.
Mm.
So I was overseeing administrative and academic projects within the four corners of the university.
Mhm.
And I was also managing or assisting in the power production and generation of electricity in the university.
Mm.
So along the line, I've always wanted to further my education, but we all try as much as possible to get the means in doing so, because getting a foreign education is quite expensive to begin with. So, so things like that, they didn't really just come out of the box. It's something that's been internalized. Then finally, it was put into life
Mm.
2.5 years ago.
Mm. That's interesting. You
Mm.
said you were an engineer, a
Yeah,
principal
yeah.
engineer. One would say you were making it. You were earning some good sum of money. So I want to know, at what point, what was that thing that triggered the desire to study abroad? You could have continued your education back in
True,
Nigeria,
true,
because we have equally good schools back home.
true.
What was that thing? At what point did you decide that I want to do this, but I don't want to do this here. I want to go abroad to do it, and
Mm.
specifically US.
Okay. Before being employed at the University of Lagos, I was teaching mathematics and some course-based subjects,
Mhm.
helping people that want to write WAEC and all those things. And then over time, I learned that due to the political instability and things like that, there's really much we can do, especially when you're trying to push knowledge into the young ones.
Mm-hmm.
you need resources, and that is one of the critical part of the educational system in Africa. Though theoretical wise, we are up there, but when you want to replicate what you read in the book, it becomes difficult because you are like pegged, you are limited to whatever facilities you have. And I know that I wanted to help people, but I'm being constrained as a result of that.
Mm.
So I applied to several universities to begin with, but the reason why I chose US is because US has a way in rewarding people in the long run. Uh,
Um, can you throw a bit more light on that? What exactly does that mean?
okay, so I have friends, right? I have family members
Mm.
that while I was trying to get employed, sometime in 2012, they continued with their education.
Mm.
And some of them now are professors, some of them are working in the industry with their PhDs and all those things. And I've spoken to them, I've seen what they've been able to accomplish. And I've also juxtaposed that with others that went to other schools outside the US. So maybe that's why US, it's the great nation with
Okay.
great facilities and all. So I would say that that's actually one critical part of things I looked when I was applying.
Mm. Okay. I'm glad. I'm glad that you ended by touching what you looked at before applying
Yeah.
to schools. So take me through a bit of that journey when
Mhm.
you finally decided I want to come to the US to study because it's more rewarding, quote unquote. What was that journey like for you? You know, choosing schools in the US, choosing courses that suit or align with what you want to do, and the whole process. We all know getting a
Mhm.
visa can be,
Yeah, difficult,
oh my God,
tedious.
it's just a lot, you
Yeah.
know. So tell me a bit about that process for you.
So as you all know, you have to write external exams like
Mm-hmm.
GRE, IELTS, and all those things. And then to begin with, to the best of my knowledge, I wrote about three GREs before I finally, yeah, I
Wow.
wrote three. Then I was able to, pass the last one, and then we did IELTS. As for the school I chose, obviously I applied to several schools, but one thing that is unique about this school I am now, it's because the principal investigator, like my current advisor, has a way in encouraging people, even if he didn't get them admitted into his group.
Mm.
So when I sent the cold message to, in quote, my advisor, and then we got talking, even outside the boundaries of applying into the institution, we still discuss other facets of life. Like he
Mm.
was able to encourage, tell me things that I couldn't even get from other professors that responded to my mails.
Mm.
Some didn't, some did. We're able to connect. So the love there was already established because
Mm-hmm.
doing a PhD in a foreign land without your family can
Yeah.
be a little bit, not a little bit, a lot of work.
Tell me about it.
And then if you don't have like a safe haven, and then
Yeah.
your advisor is adding more pepper to the bone, to the
Mm-hmm.
wound,
Mm-hmm.
and then you wake up one morning and don't want to proceed, or things like that. So it
Yeah.
made me feel comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I continued in that direction, and I was
Mm.
able to get into this school.
Mm.
So all that was why the major reason I chose this school. But
Mm-hmm.
as for the US part of it, is because of US, of course, is
What about the visa?
don't let us go here. Okay, for the visa,
Yeah.
well, alhamdulillah, my visa application process was seamless. Like
Mm.
I did just one application, one interview, and everything clocked.
Oh, that's
And the
interesting.
interview lasted less than a minute. Obviously, I had people that guided me, in how to answer questions, things to say, not keeping up with the high contact, and then, avoiding all those kind of
Mm-hmm.
things. But at the same time, I think prayer is also key too. because you can prepare every from now until tomorrow, and then maybe the what's it called, the consular, what do you call it? The
Yeah,
VO,
yeah, the view.
maybe had problems back home, an argument with her husband or her partner, and then she's coming in with all those things, and so things like that can also affect uh, the interview process. So
Mm.
I would say that everything went well, and after the interview, I didn't even realize uh, what I've actually been able to establish until when I got home, because everything was like, okay, yeah, you have this paper, so what is it?
That's quite a journey. And your visa story, interestingly, is much like mine.
Okay.
Mine was seamless as well. I had a friend, a very good friend. He's a brother-in-law to me who took me through the the mock.
Yeah, I think I know the person.
Oh no, not him, not the one you're
Not that
thinking.
one.
No.
Okay.
But he's someone you met recently at my graduation. He and the wife both came
Oh,
here.
okay.
Yeah. So he took me through the mock exam and then mock interview, sorry. And then I went for my interview and it was just seamless. And you said something that I totally agree with. I think that no matter how much you prepare, don't take the prayer factor out of it.
Mm.
Mine was so seamless too. Just happened under a minute or two. And I'm like, everything everything I prayed for when I went, that's exactly how it happened.
Yeah.
I was just so grateful. Yeah.
I'm glad.
But thank you for sharing that.
Okay.
You mentioned you were already established in Nigeria before you decided to come here. So you are married
Yeah.
back home.
Yeah.
Okay, you have
Married with
kids.
kids.
Great. Now now I am alluding to something. That this is
Okay.
leading me somewhere. Don't worry. I just wanted to find out,
Mm,
like, when you made that decision, you got your visa and all, you took care of all the logistical aspects of it.
mm.
But what were some of the barriers in your way that you had to tackle in terms of social, practical, emotional barriers that you had to tackle? You're a husband, you're a father, you're a brother, you're a child or son. What were some of those emotional, social barriers you had to deal with before you woke up, took your luggage, went to the airport?
Well, it's not as easy as you just put it now. That I just wake up, pick my luggage.
I
No.
know, right?
So, well, to begin, I'm a person. I have little circle of friends. I'm introverted, so I'm most times I spend most of my free time at home
Mm.
with my family. So I would say that the family part
Mm-hmm.
was what was heavy.
Mm.
But my wife kept on encouraging me, because she back then she knew that I have always wanted to, I mean, come to the US, continue my education
Mm.
and things like that. So when the opportunity came, she encouraged me. So based on our encouragement and that of my family, I was able to take all that in, and then change my comfort zone,
Yeah.
things like that. And all those things, they are not very easy,
Mm-hmm.
because when I came to the US the very first time, it was like I felt so alone. I
Yeah.
have no friends or no family members I can easily run through.
Mm-hmm.
Though I have friends here in the US, I have family members in the US, but over time we lost communications,
Mm-hmm.
and I can't just wake up one morning and then, oh, yeah, I'm here, things like that. So it was quite, I mean, difficult. There was a time that I almost tried to go back to Nigeria. Yeah, yeah,
Wow.
yeah. Maybe like I think like a month after I came here.
How did you navigate that?
Oh my God. So so what happened? I was new to the whole system.
Mm-hmm.
People say culture shock on everything.
Yeah.
I used to think that that is just maybe the weather, the food, the language, the accent, but it's not that. That is not the shock. The shock is that you will have to learn how they do things over here,
Mm-hmm.
which is very much different from how you grew up or how you're used to doing things.
Mm-hmm.
And so That coupled with the fact that I had assignments using tools that I've never used before
Yeah.
with deadlines, and it was quite difficult to adjust.
Mm.
So then I'm like, I tried to book. I'm going back. I looked through Qatar Airways. I was about to pay. Then a very good friend of mine, or I would say brother, then talked me out of it.
Mm.
So when I look back on all this, I said, okay, yeah, I think I made the right decision coming here.
Mm. Mm. That's interesting and
Hmm.
insightful. I'm
Hmm.
glad you brought that up, because the whole point of this conversation, having this conversation,
Mm,
is just so we point out some of the loopholes, the hurdles,
mm,
and how we navigated it, or how international students here navigate some of these hurdles,
okay.
and encourage someone who would want to take the same opportunity but is afraid,
Yeah,
or just someone who has made up their mind already, but others are telling them it's not easy, which is true, it's not easy. But I will believe that everything always seems impossible. Everything that seems impossible is impossible until someone tries to do it,
exactly.
and so it's good you brought that up. I was actually going to ask about culture shocks, because international students, one thing we'll all agree is that when we come here, we are greeted with culture shocks, different different shocks, um, and we all navigate it differently depending on who you are, your perspectives on life, and your values and stuff like that. You mentioned a friend helped you, talked you out of, your
Mhm.
decision to want to go back home.
Yeah,
Aside that, what was it about your background or your value, your belief system that also helped ground you, aside the advice from the friend?
okay. So, as for the value, okay, let me just put it in simple context.
Mm-hmm.
When you start a race, no matter how much you guys started at the same pace,
Mm,
over time, one person will run faster than the other. But that doesn't count, right? It's actually the person that crossed that finish line that matters.
true.
And that person is the winner, right?
Mm-hmm.
So whatever happened before the final race doesn't matter. It's the end that
Yeah.
matters. And as for me, an individual, I usually do not succumb to not able to accomplish something. So
Mm,
if I have my mind fixed on something, I find it very hard to pull out of it
mm,
and not finish that thing. I did the first masters in Nigeria before
mm-hmm.
coming here.
Mm,
And during that time, I was also working. I wasn't working with the University of Lagos then. I was working somewhere on the island.
okay.
And then I would uh, try as much as possible to close early because my lectures are usually in the evening. And I remember back then that the manager I had would say that, why do you keep doing this? Is it, do you want to work or you want to go to school? Do you think those of us working here, we don't want to go to school?
Mm-hmm.
But I keep on, I mean, I have to finish it. And then at the end of the day, alhamdulillah, I finished that degree.
Mm-hmm.
And so when this challenge, when all these things came, I didn't see it as something like a barrier to pull me out. I see it as
Mm,
a wall that I need to break through.
mm,
It only required someone to pull me back to my senses
mm-hmm.
and then reminded me of, how did you even come to this place? Do you remember all the mails you sent, all the applications?
I know, right?
And then all those memories and those things just came back to me, and
Mm.
I was able to pull myself out of that hole.
Mm.
Yeah.
This reminds me of a terminology I heard
Yeah.
about. It's a Yoruba terminology I heard from a Nigerian friend,
Mm.
Giron.
Gino.
Yeah, she told me, we were having a conversation, and then she said, so I was telling her about how I see a lot of Nigerians that I've come across.
Okay.
You have this unquenching tenacity.
Mm.
It's some stubbornness like that Nigerians have to conquer,
Yeah.
to succeed through obstacles.
Everything.
And then so we're having that conversation, and then she said you have a term for it, giron.
Gino, yeah.
It's a Yoruba term.
Yeah.
I told her I'll write something about it
I'm
that
I'm not so good with Yoruba, but
Mhm.
when gear is being used, it's actually mean that you take something, you try to pull it and then break it, but instead
Mm.
of breaking it, the thing is stretching
Ah.
and then going back to its original shape, right?
Mm.
So
You're
that
malleable.
yeah,
The malleability, the
yeah.
resistance.
So something, yeah, in
Mm.
that context. So whatever thing, pressure or all those things, we try to
Yeah.
transcend above all those things, and then
Yeah. Yeah,
yeah,
and that's a good thing. I'm glad that what you said
yeah,
reminded me of
yeah,
this
gear
girl.
up.
If someone is watching out there, please know that at the end of the day is where you get to that matters. It doesn't matter how you started, where you're from. It doesn't matter the obstacles in your way. What matters is how you surmount those
Who
obstacles.
finishes the race?
Exactly. At the end of the day, is who finishes the race that carries the medal,
The
right? The
trophy.
trophy, right? So this should ginger you out there to know that whatever dream you have, if it doesn't matter how big it is. Now let's look at
More question.
yes. More questions. We've talked about challenges a lot and support came in here and there, but I want to talk about support and resources. You mentioned US, why you chose US earlier in the conversation. And one thing that I, as an international student, have realized is that there were a lot of resources here that helped me than they would have been back home. So in that regard, I want to know who or what helped you. You mentioned you engaged your supervisor before coming here, and
Um,
we can't talk about our journeys without talking about our mentors, faculty mentors, our department resources, and how they shape or break us. I want you to throw a bit more light on that and how we need to take advantage of them or otherwise, whatever your perspectives are on that.
so to buttress on what you said about not having adequate resources back home,
Mm-hmm.
back in Africa, we don't really look into office hours or career talks or
Mm,
things like that. We just want to go to school, read, then pass, things like that. But school shouldn't be just studying or reading. There are other things that are attached to schooling,
yeah.
which is what you mentioned now.
Mm,
So, in my own case, when I came, I told you that I was a little bit lost. So, I try as much as possible to integrate myself with the Muslim community,
mm-hmm.
like the brothers that they are already here
Yeah.
and then they already know. And Alhamdulillah, through Mark Zook, I don't want to mention his name, but I have to. We're able to connect with people from other county, and those guys played important roles in our affairs. They were able to tell us who to meet, things to look out for, particularly the life after education, because everything comes very fast in the US. When you go to school, within 2 3 years, you are out of it, and then you are lost. So they kept on telling us, what are your plans? What are your intentions after school?
Mm,
And then helped us in meeting people that will be able to guide us, and then we're able to navigate our ways around that.
mm-hmm.
So I would say that to sum everything up, investing your time more with the community you are
Mm,
would play a critical role if you'll be able to survive the hurricanes that you're going to face as a new or international student.
mm.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Having a community really helps.
Yeah.
It's been my case too, as you know. Having a community that is there for you, backs you up, helps you with day to day juggling the day to day
Yeah. Yeah.
activities of life.
Yeah.
It helps take some of the burden off of your
Yeah.
table as a new student who is an
Yeah.
international student. Yeah. Right. Now, let's look at the growth and identity.
Okay.
How has this journey changed who you are as Adedayo Alaga? How you see yourself now versus how you saw yourself before you came? How many years has it been since you've been here in the first place?
2.5 years.
Okay, so
So
yeah.
the Adedayo Alaga in the past was introverted. I'm a very quiet person. I I don't really like socializing. I just like my space and then with my family, things like that. But you can't do that here.
No, you
You
can't.
can't. You have to learn how to socialize and mix with people and
Mm-hmm.
speak to people. So over time, I started learning how to do that,
Mm-hmm.
how to speak confidently in the public,
Mm.
giving lectures, seminars, conferences, things I couldn't do in the past. Yeah, in the past, I give directions to my subordinates, to my colleagues while I was working,
Mm.
but I can't really go meet the vice chancellor and then the VC and then no, this is no. But now, I think if we need something that would change our productivity, I can do that now.
Mm.
So I would say that I learned well.
Hmm. What's the one thing that you hoped someone had told you before you embarked on this journey, if there is?
Hmm. The one thing is that be optimistic. Open your heart
Mm.
to take in things. When I say take in things, I wouldn't say negative things, things that would force you to grow. And then there's no way you can grow if you don't leave your comfort zone.
Mm.
We all want to be in that comfort zone. But if you remain there, you're not going to grow. So I would say that open your heart and then be optimistic in your
Okay.
things.
Now I want you to look straight into the
Oh
camera,
my God, I'm shy.
please,
Okay, I'm okay.
and tell um I want you to speak directly to any young person out there who is watching. We're not done with the questions though. I have a few more,
Oh God.
but but I want you to, because of what you just said, I want you to look straight in the camera and tell a young person who is watching us right now um anything that they need to do, what they need to do about themselves, something that only Dio can tell them to do if they have any plans of pursuing um a master's or a PhD or abroad, any education abroad. The one thing that, if it's a take home for them from you, something that only you can tell them that they should start doing ASAP.
The one thing I would say is believe in yourself, believe in your virtue, and then believe that you have the ability to attain whatever good dreams or growth you intend to build for yourself. When you start having negativity around you, you might not live up to those dreams.
Mm.
So you need to surround yourself with positive minded people, people that want you to grow genuinely, and then believe that you can get to those level.
Thank you, Dayo.
Yeah.
Um, let's talk about your now.
Okay.
You're done with your masters. What's on your plate now? That what barriers are there? What are you doing now? What barriers are there that you're surmounting each day as you go? What are you doing now?
So, as you're aware, I'm married, so I'm learning how to because my family is way back in Nigeria, so I'm learning more how to put that fully in my daily day-to-day affairs.
Okay.
Most of my time I spend in the lab. I do research and experiments. So sometimes I may not even remember that I've not taken anything today.
Hmm.
So yeah, so I'm trying as much as possible to integrate my communication with them frequently now.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You mentioned you're in the lab. If you
Yeah.
could tell us what you're doing, what program are you doing? I know you. I want you to tell us. You're done with your masters. So what are you doing now? And what's the name of the program and
Okay.
all? Yeah.
So presently I am running two degrees, PhDs in electrical engineering and material science and
Oh
commercialization
my God.
at Texas State. So essentially, we try as much as possible to get new materials that can replace silicon-based components so that our materials can last longer and be more energy friendly.
Hmm.
I,
You lost me at I'm running two
yeah,
programs.
yeah. I try as
You
much
need
as
two
possible.
PhDs.
I try as much as possible to use those words.
Your resilience is top notch.
Oh my god.
No, like doing one PhD in itself, it's no joke. Doing two PhDs concurrently,
Mm.
that is beyond people's imagination. Like it's amazing. If you've not been told this, you are doing an amazing job, and I'm sure your wife and kids are proud of
thank,
you,
thank
as they
you.
should be. May Allah guide your steps.
Mm.
Before I let you go, just one more.
Please let
If
me
you
go.
could, after this one, right after this one, if you could like just gather all your journey, put them in one box, and name them with a phrase, call them something. What would that one word or phrase be?
Hey, that one is
Your
hard
journey.
though. One word.
One word.
Hey, let me think. Give me more time now.
Take all the time you need. Take all the time you need.
Grace.
Well summed up.
Yeah.
Grace.
Grace.
Thank you, Dayo.
Thank you
Thank you
so
so
much.
much for
Yeah.
being my first guest on Beyond the Barriers Conversations. I have had fun. I have learned a lot from having this conversation with you. I've learned about malleability. I've learned about getting out of your comfort zone. I have learned about being optimistic. I have learned about not letting your current situation define who you become,
Yeah.
because that's a no-no. I've learned about being able to juxtapose having family, having this, having that, and still chasing your dreams, and ensuring that it actually works,
Mm.
right? And I really, really appreciate this time I have had with you to learn all of these things. To you out there watching, I hope that you have learned a thing or two just as I have. I have really thoroughly enjoyed myself. And this is the first episode of Beyond the Barriers Conversation. We hope to bring you insightful conversations like this. This first season promises to bring conversations with international students. So watch out on this space for more of such wonderful conversations. I hope that you pick a thing or two from the conversations we will have that will guide you make informed decisions if you're planning to study abroad, and help get you to the next point of that process for you. Thank you very much. My name is Suraya Alidu, and I appreciate you watching. I'll catch you again next time.
Thank you. Ciao.
Bye.
Bye bye.